Alright, well, we're out here in the shop. It's about a week before we got a race. Lenny's going on his yearly sailboating adventure, so we were putting in our brand new mag and MSD from System 1, and we're just trying to get it all out of the way so when he goes away for the next week, because he can't come next weekend, that, you know, the car was ready to go, ready to roll, and, you know, good. Well, luckily we did that. In the middle of getting it started. It took a little bit longer to kind of get it started. It wasn't starting. And Lenny walked around the car, and I'm like, let me turn it over again, because with the starter and the battery that we have, it takes a little bit to get the fuel pressure built up, and you wait a little bit to turn on the switch, you know. So it just takes a minute to kind of get it all ready. Well, he's like, I turn it over, and he's like, whoa, whoa, what's this? And here you go. Alright. So what we end up finding out is we got a valve cover leak or valve gasket leak between our head and our block on our number 3 cylinder on this Ford, and it was pumping fuel out of it. So we have to pull this motor. We're going to put our other one in there that's fresh, and you know, these things are very sensitive. We're not building this stuff in the garage like Dad and I used to do, and we're going to send it off and, you know, make sure there's no damage anywhere else that could cause any problems. It's strange. We won, and then we flipped, right? And then we ran pretty good that next night, and then we finished second at Hendry County. So we really didn't have any hints or anything of something going wrong here. So it's kind of disappointing. This motor is not ready for a rebuild yet. I don't know how many nights we have on this motor. It's wrote down on my sheet inside. I think we were going to be able to finish the year out with what we have scheduled before we were going to send this off. So definitely a few races earlier, you know, probably 8 races earlier, 10 races earlier than what we were wanting to do. But here we are. Can't complain about that. It's definitely disappointing. Gonna definitely take a hit to the pocketbook. But we got to do it. So we're lucky that we've been set up by Russ to have another motor ready to roll, and we're going to finish stripping this thing down. You'll see that, you know, we've already got the headers off, kind of got it pretty much all taken care of. I got to pull the front wing off and disconnect the fuel lines, and I think that's it. So we'll be able to pull this motor tonight. Hopefully we'll pull this motor, drop the other motor. Hey, look, there's Lenny. We're gonna pull this one, drop the other one in, and try to get it fired up by the end of the night. We do gotta put a mag in that one. We're gonna send the brand new mag off with this one, so that when we get it back, it's fresh, it's ready to rip. And the one that we had in, that's a little used, but we know is all good, is gonna just stay as it is. And then you know, here we are. So time to get to work. Time to make this stuff happen so we can race next week. So we got the motor out of the hole here, and everything's prepped on the inside of the car, ready to go. Lines are out of the way. Now we have to, you know, we've already got the yoke off the back with the Ford. The back of the crank is a little bit different than the Chevys that I had in the past. So we have that adapter that goes on to then adapt to here. Here's kind of our tools on getting that stuff out. And here's the motor. Right here is the spot that's blown through. It's blew the paint off of this spot right here. So I don't know, in between those gaskets, I guess it's blew its seal. So we're gonna make sure it's fixed right. Here's this next beast that's sitting in here. We're gonna get the water lines and everything off the other motor and put them on here, so that when we put it in, we're ready to put everything together. So Lenny's over there grabbing that stuff right next to McQueen. Car's ready to roll in the trailer, and we're gonna use the winch to put this one in and go from there. All right, well, we got the motor back in here, bolted into place. Lenny's dressing up the inside, getting everything ready to roll, buttoned up. Then I'll get it finished being dressed up and all that stuff. And it's 7:30. We both work tomorrow, so we will be wrapping up here in probably about the next 30 minutes. I'll come out here and get it finished up, probably tomorrow night while I'm watching the races, and have it ready to go for next weekend. We'll have a couple different crew guys. Lenny's gonna be sailing the Bahamas, drinking some Bahama Mamas, fishing, trying to catch some fish, and catching a suntan. He's gonna come back looking a little bit darker than he is right now. So he does this every year. It looks like a fun trip. We're gonna miss him, but we're gonna be at the track doing what we gotta do. Out here in the shop, and Lenny should be on the sailboat somewhere. It's Sunday. I was gonna come out here Friday and tinker a little bit. Kind of got home late. Had a headache. We ended up going out to dinner. Saturday, I took Isaac to like some football meeting for he's gonna be playing football this coming year at a youth football league here. So took him there, and then I took him out to lunch. We went and bought some stuff from Dick's Sporting Goods, and just had a Father-Son day. We don't get one-on-one days like that very often, so took advantage of it. Got home and kind of just didn't really do much after that. Tried to watch some racing. That got rained out at Knoxville, and then caught it up with Braden and had some father-son time there. And now it's Sunday. I do have another meeting to take Isaac to at 3 o'clock, so I'm coming out here to prep getting this motor wrapped up. It's right where Lenny and I left it. So first things first is I got to get a mag in here. We took this mag out. If you're following along with our issues, we were having mag issues at Hendry County, and we weren't able to solve them, so we ended up sending those mags, the mags and MSDs, off to System 1 Ignition for them to repair. We got those back. That's when we put, those mags have like 6-degree, retard switch where we can knock 6 degrees of timing out of them. So we were putting one of those in because the mag that was in that motor did not have that. So whenever we were done doing that and getting ready to fire the car off, car wasn't quite firing where it needed to be, so we walked around the car, and on the passenger side of the car we seen the leak between the head and the block. So at that point, we're done with that. We pulled that motor out. It's already sent off to Chris Moss in the Carolinas. I took it to work. He sends a freight company to Sirocco Electric, and we pick it up with the forklift, throw it on back of the semi, and that's actually how it'll come back. He'll ship it to Sirocco Electric. We'll unload it with the forklift, put it in the back of my work truck, bring it home, and then we'll have it. So sent that off, and now I got to get the motor on top dead center. So I've already put the gear back in the car. I had to take the starter off. You see the starter. Took the starter off, put the gear back in the car. I'm going to take this tire off because on a Ford, number 1 cylinder is right there. And I'm going to get this thing on top dead center so that I can get the mag in there. Once mag's in there, I'm going to button up all the water fittings and stuff in here, put the headers on it, put the spark plugs in it. Got to get the cap set because it's, all brand new wires and everything, so it's all came, naked from System 1. And then at that point, I'll put the starter back on it, fire this thing off to get it timed correctly. I do still got to put oil in here. That's a filter came from Chris. I got to pull it off just to put oil in it. Once the oil's in it, we'll put all of our oil in the tank here, turn the motor over, all that stuff will be good to go, and be ready to fire off. So I got a little ways worth of work to do. It's just a one-man band. We're not set up like the Outlaws where we can just pop it off, put it in. Typically when we get a motor from Chris, it does have the mag in it. It is timed, it is ready to go. But since we had to steal it out of this motor to go racing, I have to do that step here. So it's going to take a little bit longer for just me 101 to do it. And I'll make sure I get the car on the ground before we fire it off, get the water up to temperature, make sure there's no air bubbles in it, and just kind of get this thing, get the oil warm and get it all prepped. So I got a little bit of work to do. I'm just trying to get a good head start on it. I don't think I'm going to be able to fire it off till tonight. Like I said, I got that meeting with Isaac today, so we're going to do that, get this thing ready to roll, and go from there. So you're going to see some progress. All right, so what I've done is I pulled this thing up the top dead center. So what you do there is you got to find your compression on your cylinder, right? So you basically just put your finger over the number 1 hole of your block, and you spin it over. I need to be able to spin it over slow, not with a starter. So I have this ratchet turnover tool from DMI, and I turn it over. Once you start feeling pressure, air blowing your finger out, once you feel that, I'll make that noise again for you. Once you feel that blowing your air out, you'll be able to stick a screwdriver down in that hole and just slowly turn this thing up, and you'll watch that screwdriver push all the way out the hole, and you'll get it to where, let's see if we can, you know, get the piston all the way at top dead center. So there's our piston at the very top. Like I said, I was able to go very slow so I could feel it like come up, and then it kind of pauses just a little bit before it starts going down. So that's going to get us really close. Still got to use the timing light to make sure we're right. We can't just set it in there and say, hey, we're good. You set it and forget it. So top dead center is on here. I'm going to get the mag set up, find out where number 1 is on the mag, right? And then we're actually going to go a little bit to the left, because once it settles into the cam, it'll actually pop back. And then we can do our little fine tuning to where number 1's going to be and be ready to roll. And just like that, it's fired, timed, and balanced. So I balanced the injection. Just number 1 was off just a little bit at an idle. When I put our little, here, it's like an old carburetor airflow meter. So I think this one's from like a Beetle or something, is when you buy it off Amazon. So with the air filter off, I'm able to put this on there and just make sure they're all balanced. They're usually around like 13, 14, but this was around 18. Idle was up about 17, 1800 RPMs. So I got the idle down to like 12, 13, 14, where we like to have it. And when I got down there, number 1 cylinder was just a touch off, but it's easy with these. You just put a flathead there, put that there, adjust it, tighten it back up, good to go. Usually I've had the issue where, oh, I'm sorry, I got like a little pimple patch right here. This thing won't go away. But usually these things are maybe just a touch out of balance, but they're usually just spot on when they come from Chris. They run it on the dyno and they make sure everything's good, but you know, I had to put that new mag from System 1 in there and new wires. So she's all rebuilt, ready to go. Had to just make sure all the fluids are right. So now it's got a little bit of temperature in it. Tomorrow I will double check water. I'm probably going to get a little additive to put in there to make sure it's all right. I got to go through the top of the filter. I don't know if you've watched this before, but I'm going to go ahead. You can see there's a little bit of grease already on there. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit, put grease all around the outside and right through the center again. That, you know, if it gets real dusty, it'll help catch some of that and prevent it from going into the motor. And then put all the body panels on it, get it ready to put on the ground and measure the car and just make sure our setup is where we want to be. So this is right where we were when we were putting the new mag in it. Was, you know, put the mag in it, fire it off, and make sure it's, you know, good to go. But then we had issues. So I'm going to go through our fuel system, make sure we're all good to go there, make sure our fuel numbers are where we want them to be, put this thing together, have Ashley or somebody help me put the wing on it since Lenny's cruising the Bahamas, and put our shocks and stuff on it and get all of our ride height set for Needmore so that we are ready to go. Now just one more night of that and then some honey-do list stuff for the wife this week, and then we got to prep, you know, how many people are coming. A little short on crew this week. Hoping Russ is going to be able to make it Saturday. He had neck surgery, so hopefully he gets all good to go and he can come out Saturday. I don't think he'll be able to go Friday, but you know, trying to see if Maddie's going. He's been a little hit or miss. Mike Kahn is coming back to the track for the first time, but with Lenny being gone, Debbie's also gone. So you know, we got to make sure Ashley records because she didn't do that for the late model race. She didn't want y'all to see that I sucked, but you know. Get her recording, finding a good spot, making sure Mom's set up for merchandise. Our new merch is not in, and I'm actually working on something for that. So pretty disappointed. I was hoping to have our new merch for this swing, and we're getting to where we don't have a ton of races left. So having a ton of merch isn't going to do us any good to the end of the year. So here we go. It's race week. That's going to be the end of this one. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, post them in the comments. If you think I should have done anything different, tell me. Sure. But make sure you're liking, you're subscribing, you're following along. Our Facebook has actually really took off here recently with 2 videos that we did. So I think we might have found a little niche there that helps us out, and helps more people see the progress of a blue collar racing team like ourselves. And we got a little bit of vinyl work to do this week when the stuff shows up from Paradigm. Dirty Dozen is going to be ready to go on the wing. I redid the sideboards, the front wing just a little bit to add a little bit more white, a little less blue. I think it'll look better. Then got some other little surprises to come, but I want to see them come and make sure they work before I show you. So follow along, keep an eye out for the next video. Hopefully we get the race at Needmore on Friday and Alltech on Saturday. I think it would be a great weekend if we can get it all in, but it's that time of the year, so anything can happen. So thanks for watching. It was a few extra steps that we weren't thinking that we were going to need, but I'm glad we found. If we weren't swapping that mag and we just went on to racing as we were, could have had some catastrophic issues that would happen, especially with how fast we are here. And it would have been terrible. So as much as it sucks, I'm glad it happened the way it happened, because now we're not rushing in the race day. We're not hurting an engine really bad on Friday and swapping engines to race on Saturday. We were able to kind of slow roll it through here and get it all done. So it's actually could have been a lot worse, but here we are, ready for race week.